Hi. Hi, Carla.
Hello.
Careful, there's a little
Thank you. Don't trip.
carpet. Oh, and by the way, look at my shoes, you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat it tonight.
Very cool.
That's gonna happen.
Awesome. Hello.
Hi, Carla. Come sit. Okay, you are Wanderlust's charity partner tonight. Will you tell everyone? Sorry. Here it is.
Thank you. Fix me.
By the way, I got a note from my bosses that I touch people too much. So I'm sorry about that. I'm not kidding. They focus group me and they're like, too touchy. I'm like, how fucking embarrassing. Okay. I'll try not to do that so much. Okay. Carla, will you please tell us about the amazing work that you do?
Yes. Thank you. And it's a bit surreal and amazing being here, and I'm just super excited. So thank you to you and Wanderlust for backing me and Bridget. So my charity supports young women who have experienced homelessness or have been removed from their families as children. So by the time they come to us, they've usually had some really, really challenging experiences in life, but one of the biggest things is that they completely don't believe in themselves. So what we provide is a beautiful home in Melbourne that we call the Cocoon, and we back them in every way that your family might if you're lucky enough to have a family. So we give them a fully self-contained studio apartment. We give them a wide range of therapies, which is what we're raising funds for tonight. So acupuncture, massage, music therapy, art therapy, animal therapy, all of that, so they can recover from trauma. We also teach them life skills like how to cook and clean and look after themselves, and then we take them to the zoo and zip line and do all the cool stuff that young people should be doing.
Thank
you.
May I ask why you chose to do this with your life? Was there something in your youth? Was there something how did you come to be who you are?
It's a wild question. And usually a question that I just dodge and say,
not tonight.
I'm from a family of social workers.
You're from a family of social workers.
Well, that's just a lie that I would say to dodge the question, right? But the truth of it is, and I thought, if I'm ever going to publicly say this, why not say it in front of 7,000 people and Drew Barrymore?
Safe space. Safe space.
Yeah, don't tell anyone, right? My mother-in-law doesn't know. But
she will in a minute. Go on.
So when I was 17, I was out having an epic party and loved to party and was out clubbing all the time and thought I was totally invincible, and then ended up getting arrested with a significant amount of ecstasy. And then went from party girl Carla to naked in a police station, strip search Carla, and locked in a concrete cell for 14 hours, and then it was just a very degrading experience. And I was 17 when that happened, so I was a child. But the big thing for me was I walked out of that police station, and my twin sister Jenna, who's here tonight, was there to pick me up. So I had
Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you, Jenna. I had love and support. And then fast forward a few months when I went to court. So originally they told me I was going to a juvenile detention center. But in court, I walked into court with my mum, who loves me and was there for me. And I looked around in court and I realized I am the only person here that has got an adult. No one else here has got an adult to back them. And I think that was kind of a light bulb moment for me. And then when I stood in court and they read out my charge, and my mum was sobbing, and I think having this, nice mom wearing a woolly jumper, like loving me. They chose to not put me into a youth prison and instead let me have drug and alcohol counseling, let me go home. And then I went into a year of being supported, like having counselors and a youth offending team worker. And I had so many different workers in that time because nobody could stick that job out. And I remember just sitting there as a 17-year-old thinking, quite frankly, I could do your job better than you. So I said to my worker, how do I get to be you? And she said, go to uni. So I went to uni and I did my degree, and then I worked my ass off for 20 years, like doing frontline doing frontline homelessness work. And then I guess realized that that system was fundamentally broken and I couldn't change it from the inside. So the only way to have the program that I dreamed of, that my sister Jenna, who works with me, dreamed of, and my amazing team, some of whom are here tonight, was to create our own program that did all of the things that we know that works and none of the things that doesn't.
How in the hell did you survive in your job without telling that story? I mean, that is your inroad. This is the thing that I wanted to do with the show too, is the things that have happened to us are some of the answers and some of the strengths, and that journey that's so lovely. It's an idea. It's something. Again, it's the construct that we think we're supposed to live, a conformity that isn't real. This is real, and it's tangible. And if we look around and we see the things, if we live the things, this can be the inroad to something so incredible. And I can't think of anything more powerful than the ability to relate to the people you work with, by knowing that you got there not because you're this perfect, squeaky, clean saint who just thought, I'll go and, do this. It's you took a life experience and you made it your strength, and more importantly, or as importantly, something that will benefit other people. And you're a caretaker, and this is why I'm in love with humans, because what you do is so extraordinary, and I'm so glad that this happened to you so that it would direct your entire life.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. It's weird how, like, sometimes the absolute worst things that can happen to you in your life end up being the best things. But I think my obsession has become people who are labeled, deeply labeled, and how do we overcome that? And as time's moved on, I've realized that, okay, now I'm a good girl. I got married, I had children, I've got a dog, I live in the burbs. I've ticked all the boxes. But that doesn't mean I don't have labels anymore. Okay, I'm not a young offender anymore, but that is a weird label where it's when you've been an offender, you're kind of always an ex-offender. Whereas I also worked in a cafe and no one says I'm an ex-waitress. So it's really random, but.
And that also is part X right there. That's how you identify it. This is the narrative that I was speaking of earlier. These are the labels, which is a narrative. It's the same thing. And it works from the truth. You did these things, therefore you are this. No. What am I right now? What will I be? And, one time Barry told me that it's also incredibly selfish and indulgent to be this obsessed with my own bullshit.
Wow.
I was like, God, you're good. But I agree. I agree with making something that happened to you your greatest strength, your biggest asset. And I am in love with people And this is why I think I don't subscribe to that. You gotta be selfish, man. You gotta take care of number one. There's no loving other people unless you love yourself. I'm like, oh, that's not inspiring to me. It just isn't. But you take care of people, and that is inspiring. And I know we have to take care of ourselves along the way. I'm really getting that now. But I'm just so grateful. Can I ask a question, a last question? What did your mom say that night? Or what did your mom say when
I got arrested?
Yep.
This is actually my mum's all-time favorite story. So what she says was, I was out clubbing for 2 days. So mum's thinking like, Carla's off having a great time. And this is back when we didn't have mobile phones, right? So I'm not texting my mum. And then my mum opens the door, and there's 2 police officers standing there. And so mum just thinks, fuck, my daughter's dead. And then when the cop takes his hat off, she's like, I'm definitely about to hear that my daughter's dead. And then when he said, your daughter's been arrested on suspicion of intent to supply a Class A drug, my mum went, oh, thank God.
Yep. Yep. Good. Because now I'm on the other side of it. I've got 2 kids, so
all right.
I find myself in an interesting chasm, being extremely reflective and totally fearful of, everything that will happen. And yet, every time I hear someone's story like that, you are the exact hero that I spoke about that is a human being. And so that means that everyone is capable of being that incredible person. Carla, I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. Thanks. See you.